A worldview is made up of a person's ideas. All of those ideas come together to form an image, a story, a map, if you will, of reality. In one way, there are as many worldviews as there are people. And in another way, there are major stories of reality, major worldviews, of which all people tend to gravitate, cohesive stories that we pull from to create our own individualistic worldviews. Of course, we have a job, I think, to evaluate our worldviews and ask the question, does it line up with the way that the world really is? My brother and I are part of a racing team called Almon Brothers Racing. We do stage rally. Stage rally is a particular form of racing in which the drivers don't get to practice on the course that they're going to race on. In fact, oftentimes they've never even seen the course. Public roads have been closed down. The driver is completely dependent upon a navigator reading off a course description, like the directions of what's coming up. Over this crest, you have a certain amount of distance before a turn, which direction, and how sharp it is. How important is it, do you think, that the driver and the communicator, the navigator, are on the same page? More so, how important is it, do you think, that the course notes line up with the actual course? It could be the difference in a really fun day of racing or a really bad day at the hospital. All of us have a course description in our minds of reality. It's called a worldview. All of the ideas that we have about reality come together to form a picture, a map, if you will, or a story about reality. How important is it, do you think, that our course notes, our ideas about reality, line up with it? It could be the difference in living a life according to reality that goes well or hitting reality. And sometimes that comes with great consequences. In fact, it might even come with eternal consequences. Think about it like this. If each idea is like a piece of a puzzle, all of those pieces come together to form one coherent image. Again, a worldview. I also like to think about, I mentioned this a minute ago, a story. Everybody has a story about the world. Where we came from, the way things are supposed to be, the problems that arise in that story, and how we fix those problems. Again, this is another way to think about worldview. Imagine for a minute if I dumped out a box of puzzles, several boxes of puzzles in front of you, and turned them upside down so that all you saw is the brown side. Would you be able to put those puzzles together? Maybe, after some amount of time. What if, however, I turned those puzzle pieces over so that you could see the designs on them, and then I gave you the puzzle box tops? How much easier would it be to assemble those puzzles at that point? A lot easier, wouldn't it? Okay, here's why I'm bringing all of this up. It would be a daunting task to examine every single idea that you have, every single puzzle piece, and compare it to reality. Does it match up or does it not? However, if you could recognize some ideas, some patterns in the ideas that you have, like you did with the puzzle pieces, you might be well on your way to evaluating the worldview that you have as it matches up or doesn't with the world that really is.